But make no mistake, this loss hurt, and the MMA community has been divided ever since.
Oh, it's not. Oh my God. He had the old 1-2 left hook on him.
Are you impressed by, in that sense?
I think that he made some good adjustments technically, where he was putting him on the back foot a lot more than he was in the first fight. In this fight, in the rematch, Pereira's just constantly keeping him guessing, walking him backwards, making him feel threatened, and Ankalaev just couldn't even get anything off. So Pereira's back.
I always ask it, but does he move to heavyweight now, or does he fight Yuri, or what are you 40?
He could be a 3-division world champion for the first time. And it's, look, Tom Aspinall is a large obstacle.
That's a big
That's
hill
a
to climb.
giant man that is never going to make middleweight, never going to make light heavyweight. Right. That is a true heavyweight.
Tom Aspinall couldn't make 225.
No.
He's huge.
Yeah.
Because he's ripped at 255.
Yeah.
So
that's a real heavyweight.
I'd like to see him fight again at 205. I got to be honest, man. I kind of like the guy that dominates a little bit, especially when it looks like that.
When it looks like that, I mean, that was revenge.
Well, Yuri Prochazka has fought Alex Pereira twice. So in our fighter meeting, when we talk about Ankalaev, that would have been a fresh matchup, whereas Carlos Ulberg has not fought him, so maybe he has the inside line.
Well, Ulberg versus Yuri for an eliminator.
Or for a vacant belt if
Peloton's
doing his
if
thing,
Peloton decides to go up, look, he's 38 years old, too. At a certain point in time, he's going to be done with this. And it's not, we got to appreciate him now.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't have 10 years left. I mean, it's just, the heavyweights can fight a little longer, but, 41, 42.
Hey, man, let me tell you something. Fighting in there at 41, it ain't fun. It ain't fun at 41. I'm telling you, I don't care how good you are.
But, we said a year ago when we talked about Pereira, he's only been in the UFC 3 years, and now we sit here. He still has less than 4 years on the roster.
It's nuts.
After suffering a shocking defeat at the hands of Pereira, Ankalaev took to social media to share a powerful and emotional message. He wrote, "If Allah tested me with defeat, then he wants to toughen me. I bow to his will, but not to difficulties. To those who stayed, thank you. To those who turned away, thank you too. After all, Allah clears the way not only of weakness, but also of unnecessary people." That message alone shows just how deeply Ankalaev is processing this loss. Calm, composed, and faithful, he's embracing the setback as a lesson, not a failure.
Same building, for that matter. And flip the script the way that Alex Pereira did tonight to Ankalaev. I've never seen anything like it. I've never even heard of anything like it, and neither of you. I'm challenging you. I read all the comments. Tell me of something that you've seen. And not to mention the way that it was done. This was not a matter of Alex Pereira being a powerful striker and coming out and catching somebody. That's just not what we saw. As a matter of fact, Alex Pereira got a takedown. And the way that they score takedowns, I must tell you, I've never really understood. But as your resident wrestling expert, any way that you want to do it, any wrestling metric, any way that you want to do it, Alex Pereira took Ankalaev down. That just wasn't supposed to happen. I haven't seen Ankalaev taken down. Now, if there was a position that I missed, for example, in his fight with Paul Craig, if there was a position that I'm forgetting where Ankalaev was down, forgive me, but I don't know of a time that he was in that position, and I was very stunned at the way that he reacted. I would never kick somebody when they're down. I'm just speaking to what I saw. I'm not giving Ankalaev a hard time. I'm just speaking to what I saw. I was very surprised in that position. He did a very good job of covering. He really did. Pierre is trying to hit him, and Pierre's using some energy, and they're blocking him. I mean, Ankalaev's looking right at him. Now, the first thing that you need to do from an X's and O standpoint in that position is to sit up and get an underhook. You're not going to get away if you don't get an underhook. The other thing that does is it closes the distance, and the guy just simply can't hit you, right? I was waiting for Ankalaev to get the underhook, and he never tried.
Of time. I mean, ever since he came to this sport, there was a lot of hype, and he lived up to that in so many ways. He became the middleweight champion, now the light heavyweight champion, not once, but twice, and he just got revenge over Magomed Ankalaev in 1 minute, 20 seconds. Gone in 80 seconds, okay? But it's the way that he did it that was so impressive. He said that he was 40% last time. I'll be honest, I kind of scoffed at that, because fighters are never 100%. I mean, for crying out loud, I fought the back end of my career with one eye and a ton of other injuries, okay? Fighters are never 100%, so it did sound like some excuses were being made. However, he clearly was burnt out. He clearly wasn't the best version of himself. Or maybe he just had a fantastic performance, okay? Right? Regardless, he smokes Magomed Ankalaev. So the question is, what's next? Now, of course, he wants to go to heavyweight. Dana White said that he saw him at the Performance Institute on Friday. He told Dana face-to-face he wants to go to heavyweight. And you would assume that by going to heavyweight, he would mean wanting the winner of Cyril Gane versus Tom Aspinall, which goes down in just a couple of weeks. But that's not what he wants. He wants to take on Jon Jones at the White House, the greatest of all time, depending on who you ask, of course. We're not getting into that whole debate, but that's what Pereira wants. Now, I will say this. The man should be afforded some wild opportunities. What he did, the way he came back, the way he thrills audiences, the knockouts that he's had, the career that he's had, the impact that he's made on this sport, and the fan base that will once again be behind him is immense, okay? So I say give the man some fun fights. Yes, of course, there is Carlos Ulberg out there, and there is Yuri Prohaska. Yuri, I could not be a bigger fan of that guy. I love that guy, but he's been beaten by Alex twice. I hate to say it, I don't think the outcome would be much different. Carlos Ulberg, yeah, sure. Make him fight Carlos Ulberg, probably beat Carlos Ulberg, because it'll be a kickboxing match. Ulberg's not going to shoot a double leg takedown. He's not all of a sudden going to turn into a Dagestani wrestler that he just beat, by the way, in 1 minute, 20 seconds. He would probably beat Carlos Ulberg as well. So what do you do with it? Well, you give him something fun, okay? There is Jon Jones at the White House. However, Dana's already said he's not going to put Jon Jones on at the White House because he needs people that he can trust. And of course, it's looking like Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler is going to be the main event. McGregor's out there talking about it, announcing it, going on Fox Sports, saying that he's negotiating directly with the White House.
It ain't a negotiation. Wow. It's a done deal, signed, delivered.
So, of course, Dana White refuted that last night. He said, we're not even talking about contracts or anything like that.
We're still talking about the production and how everything's going to work at the White House. We have not started negotiating any fights.
Although I do expect McGregor to be on there versus Michael Chandler, which is crazy because we never thought that fight was going to happen. Jones versus Pereira, okay? I mean, that's a huge fight. That's a big fight that a lot of people would want to see. But what would you rather see? But the fight that I would rather see is Alex Pereira going up against Tom Aspinall or Cyril Gane. More than likely, Tom Aspinall, let's be honest.
Magomed Ankalaev has finally spoken out after his crushing defeat to Alex Pereira at UFC 320, and his message has the MMA world buzzing.
That's awesome. Last one from me. I don't know if you're aware of this yet, but middleweight champion Khamzat Chimaev has called you out and said that congratulations, but now you guys need to finish your business. Are you aware of what business that is, and are you interested in him moving up to fight you at this stage?
Obrigado pelos parabéns. Mas eu quero uma super luta, igual eu falei, pô, quero dar uns pesos pesados. Então, só agradeço só pelos parabéns.
Thanks for congratulating me, but all I want is a super fight. I want to fight at heavyweight, but all I can say is thank you.
See him win.
And you know, win, lose, whoever, but Alex and his team, Lober, Teixeira there, and all of these guys, we have good relationship with them, like with my team, and I really wished him like to win because all these bullshit what Ankalaev wrote before and all these nonsenses, what he thought about himself, about others. So that was why I was happy. Yeah, because I saw really angry Alex going forward through the Ankalaev. And that was something what I needed to be in my fight too. Like more.
Would you like to fight Alex Pereira, UFC 300?
If he wants to, I will. But going on record and saying I'm not a bully. I don't bully smaller guys. But if the smaller guy wants to scrap, can't be him.
In breaking down this fight, UFC heavyweight champion Tom Aspinall was saying that he thought you've gotten favorable matchups until you ran into Ankalaev, and the result kind of proved he was a bad matchup for you. I'm just curious if you think that is fair or an unfair analysis, and just your response.
Yeah, we're talking about the biggest organization in the world. I'm a guy who comes from kickboxing. I had no grappling experience, literal experience in MMA. We're talking about the highest level of the sport. So if you were to put the worst guy in the UFC against me, I'd be at a disadvantage. So that makes no sense.
We obviously fought on the same card, me and him. Never met him before, never. He was quite frosty when I met him. Definitely not a happy chappy, do you know what I mean? I spent a bit of time together. Obviously, there's a language barrier and stuff. He doesn't really speak English that I'm aware of, at least. We did the press conference. We sat next to each other. He was literally, I was here, he was there. Got off the press conference. And my dad said, "Oh, how was it?" I said, "Do you know Alex Pereira?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "He thinks he can beat me, you know." And my dad was like, "What do you mean?" "I don't know, I can just tell." He wasn't posturing. He wasn't like trying to intimidate me or nothing. I just felt like he had in his mind, maybe I'm just making it up, I have no idea, but I've never done it with anyone before. And I'm not like that insecure guy being like, "He's trying to fight me." I'm not like that at all. When I heard that he wants to move up to heavyweight, I wasn't surprised. I felt like he was like sizing me up a little bit. Saying that, mate, we were 2-3 days